All right, everybody. I'd like to open the meeting at 9:03 and just acknowledge that we have Councillor Burkett and Councillor O'Neill online. Morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Mayor.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Could we start off if someone could confirm the minutes of the ordinary meeting on the 24th of July 2025? Councillor Brompton.
I move that the minutes of the ordinary meeting held on the 24th of July 2025 be confirmed.
Can I have a seconder? Councillor Seawright. All those in favour?
Yes.
Yes.
9-0. Moving on to 8.1. Advocacy consideration call for LGAQ conference motions 2025. Do I have a mover?
I'm happy to move.
When you're ready, councillor.
I'll move the council amend resolution number OM 07202535 to read as follows. The council submit the following motions to the 2025 Local Government Association Queensland LGAQ Annual Conference. One, on behalf of Maranoa Regional Council, call on the Local Government Association of Queensland LGAQ to advocate to the Queensland Government for further legislative or administrative reform that prevents the renewal of resource tenements where the applicant has outstanding local government rates in any Queensland local government area, not just the jurisdiction of the tenement where rates are owing. Two, on behalf of Southwest Queensland Regional Organisation of Councils, Southwest ROC, that the LGAQ calls on the state government to undertake the scheduled 2026 review of regulated air service contracts in Queensland in a manner that, one, involves early, comprehensive and contemporary engagement with affected communities, councils, regional industries, service users and other relevant stakeholders, ensuring all voices are heard and considered. Two, provides opportunities for councils and communities to contribute to the development of the terms of reference, scope of the review, ensuring it will address key concerns identified. Three, involves a more extensive review than those previously undertaken to provide a future-focused approach which supports economic growth and equitable airline services for regional, rural and remote Queenslanders. Three, the Maranoa Regional Council call on LGAQ to advocate for legislative amendments to the federal assistance grants that would define a set payment schedule of full payment within the same financial year for which the grant is intended.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor Davis. Would you like to speak, councillor?
Yeah, thanks very much, Mayor. We obviously addressed this at our most previous ordinary meeting. After that meeting, we received the proposed resolution to take to LGAQ on behalf of Southwest ROC, which is largely in line with what Council resolved a fortnight ago, but this strengthens it with certain elements, particularly the point 3 of that point 2 of the resolution, which is to undertake a more extensive review on the regulated services that have previously been the contracted route.
Thank you. Anyone like to speak against? Anyone else like to speak? You need to sum up, councillor?
No, thank you.
We'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
Yes.
9-0. 12.1, Wallumbilla Multipurpose Building, lettable space expressions of interest. Do I have a mover? Councillor Seawright.
I move that one, council close the expression of interest for the Wallumbilla lettable space without shortlisting any respondents. Two, undertake a tender process for a commercial kitchen and shared dining space within the Wallumbilla multi-purpose building. Three, write to the Roma Meals on Wheels group to discuss potential options for meeting their storage needs within another council facility at Wallumbilla or Yulbar.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor Davis. Would you like to speak, councillor? So I was just caught up on the last bit, but I got it now. You're right.
That's all good, thank you. Yes, thanks, Mayor. Just in regards to the addition of possibly this commercial kitchen to the building, I think it'll bring a great extra to Wallumbilla and also the actual facility itself. And in regards that we've actually had some decent interest in this, that perhaps it will actually let the tourists and visitors stop in and give them an extra reason to stop in. Besides just Calico Cottage, they do wonderful things there at Calico Cottage, but anything that can help feed and interest people to stop and see our local history, I welcome it, and I thank the staff for bringing this to us and including this in the building when they were constructing and designing it.
Thank you. Anyone like to speak against? Anyone else like to speak? I'd just like to say too that I think it really does have to be a commercial kitchen just for the sake of tourism, let alone locals too, you know. Don't feel like cooking tonight, let's go down to the wheatshed. So it's all good, so thank you. Anyone else like to speak? Would you like to sum up? You're
No,
right?
thanks, ma'am.
Okay, let's go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
Yes.
9-0. 13.1. Councillor O'Neill, have you got a conflict to declare?
On 13.1?
Yes.
Yeah, I do. Item 13.1, the description, Maranoa Duathlon 2025, declaring Councillor Cameron O'Neill, person with interest is myself, particulars of the interest, Richard Johnson, just missing an N there, Kel. Duathlon committee member is a personal friend, type of conflict, declarable conflict of interest. And the action is, although I have a declarable conflict of interest, I do not believe a reasonable person could have a perception of bias. Therefore, I will choose to remain in the meeting. However, I will respect the decision of the meeting on whether I can remain and participate in the decision.
Councillor Davis.
I move that it is in the public interest that Councillor O'Neill participates and votes on agenda item 13.1 because a reasonable person would trust that the decision is made in the public interest.
Seconded by Councillor Brumpton. All those in favour?
Yes.
8-0. Sorry, I didn't call that either. 13.1 Maranoa Duathlon 2025. Do I have a mover? Councillor Flynn.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I'll move one, that Council approve and support the Maranoa Triathlon Committee to host a duathlon event on the 25th of October 2025 in Roma. Allocate up to $2,000 from work order 19866.2571.201 Roma in-kind assistant budget. And 3, Maranoa Regional Council nominate teams to participate as part of the event, and if a councillor wishes to participate, advise the CEO or his representative.
Have a seconder? Councillor Seawright.
I just want to point out that Councillor Flynn missed 0 in that work order, but that was 2001. Sorry, Councillor.
Okay, thank you.
I thought I said 200.
No, you couldn't quite get it. Thanks.
Councillor Davis.
I just wondered, with point 3, could we just encourage?
Yeah.
Would you be happy with that? Encourage,
A councillor or who are we encouraging?
well, staff, we're not nominating.
I think we already have teams nominated from staff. Would that be right?
Madam, through the Mayor, maybe
Oh,
Mr
sorry.
Georgie could update us.
Yep, through Mayor Councillor Flynn and councillors. We have some keen staff members that are eager to be part of the council team, like last year when we won.
I do think, sorry,
You're right.
I probably agree, encourage is probably a better word. We can't make our staff nominate.
And I think Councillor Flynn was just trying to get rid of the fact that we were going to nominate a councillor.
You've hit the nail right in the head.
I get what you're trying to do, so that's all good, because we didn't have anybody really put our hand up.
I see that.
So,
Can I, sorry, just suggest encourage staff to nominate to participate as part of the Maranoa Regional, because encourage teams is.
yeah, that's fine. Are you happy with that, councillor?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, would you like to speak to it?
Yeah, I suppose the purpose behind this is the change of the name from the Maranoa Triathlon to the Maranoa Duathlon, and Council very keen to support the event. And obviously we have the pool closure in the middle of this event, And it's great to see that an organisation has worked around the fact that the pool is closed to be able to continue their event. And I strongly support this event, and on behalf of council, wish that the event is a huge success.
Anyone against? Anyone else like to speak? Councillor Vincent.
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up on what Peter Flynn said about well done to the committee for pivoting, for want of a better word, with the pool being closed. They get a great turnout. It was great to see Maranoa Regional Council take out a win last year. So good luck to the team this year that are game to go ahead and join in.
And just so you know, I would have put my hand up for the swimming part,
Oh.
but it's not there this year.
There's always next year. Hopefully.
I'll be older next year. All good. Anyone else like to speak? Would you like to sum up, councillor?
No, just to reiterate Councillor Vincent's words there and say that it is an outstanding event. Just mentioning there might be some inconvenience to some of the businesses on the new route, but I don't think that will take away from the event whatsoever.
Yeah, very good. All right. On that note, we'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
Yes.
9-0. All right. 13.2, Maranoa Netball Association Future Facility Development Priorities. Do I have a mover? Councillor Flynn.
I move on this particular matter that Council 1 acknowledge the correspondence received from Maranoa Netball Association outlining their priority infrastructure improvements. Thank the association for their valuable contribution to sport in the Maranoa region and for proactively informing Council of their future priorities. Work with the association to progress the projects identified in their priority list and also support the association, this is item 3, and grant funding applications, which is also mentioned in item 4, but I think we need to reiterate that support the association identify and applying for suitable external grant funding opportunities, in particular with support of Netball Queensland.
There was an updated recommendation on number 4.
And that nearly got it too,
And I can't find it.
up here.
Oh, sorry, I can't read that.
Okay.
I'm not logged in.
Which did cover your part on
Which just-
number 4.
yeah.
Support the association in identifying and applying for suitable external grant funding opportunities, working in collaboration with Netball Queensland.
That's basically what you said. Thank you, councillor. I have a seconder. Councillor Vincent, would you like to speak, councillor?
Great to receive the letter from Maranoa Netball Association, obviously looking to improve the facility that we have at Bassett Park for their association. There are some 6 or 7 items that have been listed as part of that. Some of those are easy achievable, some of them not so quite easily achievable, and that we will be, as I said in the motion, looking at grant funding and also support from the major state body to assist with Maranoa Regional Council and Maranoa Netball Association. And I'd like to mention the fact that the association in their letter are very appreciative of the commitment of the $150,000 in the budget for the upgrading of the courts.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? Councillor Davis.
Yes.
We'll go to you first, Councillor Burkett.
Oh, okay, thank you. I'd just like to congratulate our Netball Association on being proactive, not only to get the facilities up to be able to host more events, but also it's going to progress the skill level of the participants, and I think that's only going to benefit the community and benefit those children that are in and young adults that are involved in the Netball Association. So, yeah, very happy to support this motion today.
Councillor Davis.
Thank you. Just to follow on with what Councillor Flynn and Councillor Burkett said, it is always great to have these forward-thinking sporting clubs and committees. I also like that they've come to the table with a little bit of money, given our financial position as a council, and that they are prepared to fund the 2 projects listed in the report. So it's always good to partner where council does have the skills and can assist to better council's facility and that of the M&As. So, yeah, fully support it.
Anybody else like to speak? Would you like to sum up, councillor?
Just to reiterate the fact that it's great to see the Netball Association come forward and look at improving the facility, in particular for their junior sport. And the Mayor and myself have been at a function this morning where junior sport is highlighted. It's great to see the junior sport activities continue to grow in our region.
Thank you. On that, we'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
Yes.
9-0. Thank you, Georgie. Thank you. 13.3, request for in-kind assistance, Tilbar Gun Club. Do I have a mover? Councillor Hancock.
I move that Council 1 receive and note the report, 2 acknowledge the correspondence and ask Tilbar Gun Club to reapply via Council's Community Grants Program with the assistance of the Stratton Surrounds Local Development Officer and Overseer.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor Brompton, would you like to speak, councillor?
Yes.
Good morning, Jess.
Thank you. And just before I do, through you, Madam Mayor, Officer Jess, do you have any more to add to what's in the report, or?
No, I think it's pretty straightforward in terms of what they're asking for and how we should assist.
Okay, thank you. I'd just like to acknowledge that Tilbar is such a proactive little community in our Maranoa. They are very independent and they don't ask much of council. This is a great project that obviously needs doing because it is their little community hub. I acknowledge that in the report that I can understand why, when council was working out there, that the request was for, can you do some in-kind while you're there? Just wanted to note that that opportunity is passed. And so therefore we're sort of not in the area now. So I actually think that it perfectly sits under our community grants program and wish them all the best for their application.
Mm-hmm. Is the community grants open yet?
No.
No.
Because we're waiting on our new policy.
That's right.
Which also will combine community grants and in-kind assistance. And so
it should fit.
So working with our local development officer and overseer, I'm sure they can help them apply for which assistance will be required.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else like to speak? Councillor Vincent.
Just acknowledging that we don't hear from Tilbar very often, so it was really nice for them to put in a request for us to see what they were doing down there. And touching on the policy, when it comes through reading this and knowing that we've just been reading through the policy, that this project will fit perfectly in that new policy with the in-kind and some financial assistance as well.
Anyone else like to speak?
Yeah, can I just ask a question? Has the club already applied for a grant, or are they going to apply for a grant?
It would be based on what was discussed today. So they haven't applied for a grant, but following on from this, I will help them put one together to put forward. Okay, it's just that the original letter was written on the 22nd of April, and I know there's been a fair bit of discussion about it. It's 4 months since the original letter, so there's a fair bit of time passed since they've actually asked council for their support.
Mm.
And that was because the trucks were working in that area and we couldn't do it. So yeah, I acknowledge it was a long time today. But you've been speaking to them, Officer Jess.
With this one, I haven't had a lot to do with it. I did at the start and I thought it was going ahead to be progressed while we were in the area. And unfortunately, I didn't realise that this had sort of gone to the background. And so now I'm just presenting today, but I'll definitely be more proactive moving forward with this.
I actually would like to thank the staff for the way they've actually approached this, because as it's been ongoing, there's been numerous discussions about it.
Thank you, councillor. Anyone else like to speak? Would you like to sum up, councillor?
No, thank you.
With that, we'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
Yes.
9-0. Thanks, Jess. 14.1, stock route management and compliance policy. It'd be good to put this one to bed.
Councillors, I don't believe that you've received a copy of the policy.
No.
I have printed it out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you like to lay it on the table?
Yeah, I'd like to lay this on the table so we actually have time to read the policy.
Yeah.
Sorry, Annie, come back with this,
There was-
just so I can read it. Thank
There was going to be
you.
a brief on it yesterday, but when we were going through bumping a few things, because it was quite a long day, the sort of ones we bumped. So obviously the staff had prepared to sort of presented a debrief.
So we're happy to lay it on the table until later in the meeting?
Yep.
That work? Or do you want a briefing?
But this is when you had a brief on it a few weeks ago with.
Yeah,
yeah.
and it was-
Yeah,
was-
And so this is
through
with the changes that have come
Correct.
back.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
With,
No, that was for the parking.
oh, apologies.
Yeah, this is a whole new policy. We haven't actually spoke about this or talked
You have
about
had
this.
briefing previously. early in the
Yeah, I
process.
believe there was an internal miscommunication about whether this should come to briefing or meeting. That's explained some of the confusion.
I want to lay this on the table for a future meeting.
By
Meeting
briefing.
or
By
by
briefing.
Fire
Brief-
briefing,
by brief.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's,
okay.
sorry, an internal breakdown.
Yeah, like this
communication.
is
It
big.
was supposed to be briefs yesterday,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
All those in favour of laying it on the table till we have a briefing?
Yes.
Yes.
Not a big document, a big subject.
Big subject.
Thank you.
All right.
Excuse me, Director Jamie, just noting, will this be sent to both Councillor Burkett and Councillor O'Neill? Because
Yes.
they wouldn't have received what was just handed out.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Councillor Hancock. Yeah, so, that was supposed to be covered in a brief.
Yeah, sure.
And, yeah, internal breakdown is probably on us, so we'll absolutely make sure that everybody has the information they need before it comes back.
Thank you.
14.2, 2020/2217, change application, minor material change of use, intensive animal industry. Councillor Flynn?
Yes, just declaring a conflict of interest here on that particular matter, which is change application, minor material change of use, intensive animal industry. Declaring councillor is myself, Peter Flynn. The person with the related interest is myself, and the particulars of the interest, the applying company have business dealings with the organisation that I am a sole trader of, Maranoa Travel Centre. I believe that this is a declarable conflict of interest, and although I have a declarable conflict of interest, I do not believe a reasonable person could have a perception of bias. Therefore, I will choose to remain in the meeting. However, I will respect the decision of the meeting on whether I can remain and participate in the decision.
Councillor Brompton?
I move that it is in the public interest that Councillor Flynn participates and votes on agenda item 14.2 because a reasonable person would trust that the decision is made in the public interest.
A seconder? Councillor Vincent? All those in favour?
Mayor, just before you go to vote, I too am going to declare an interest on this. Sorry, I've just realised so I won't vote on this because I'll declare an interest.
Thank you. So all those in favour?
Yes.
7-0. Whenever you're ready, Councillor O'Neill.
I'll just wait for Kelly and then I'll just follow as she goes. The description is 2020-20217, change application, minor material change of use, intensive animal industry. Declaring council as Councillor Cameron O'Neill, person with the interest is myself. Particulars of the interest, close friends Danny and Katie Wells, neighbour, the property. Type of conflict, declarable conflict of interest, and the action I'll take. Although I have a declarable conflict of interest, I do not believe a reasonable person could have a perception of bias. Therefore, I will choose to remain in the meeting. However, I will respect the decision of the meeting on whether I can remain and participate in the decision. And just in the particulars of the interest, Kel, close friend Danny Katie Wells, neighbour of the property, and were interested stakeholders when this application first came to council, from memory,
Do I have some?
and may have been submitters, but I just can't recall that off the top of my head.
Thank you, councillor O'Neill. Councillor Brompton.
I move that it is in the public interest that Councillor O'Neill participates and votes on agenda item 14.2 because a reasonable person would trust that the decision is made in the public interest.
Seconder. Councillor Seawright. All those in favour?
Yes.
7-0. Don't think you can vote on that.
No.
Oh, sorry. I
That's
didn't-
okay.
Yep.
I was just making sure I knew what I was doing, not you. All right, with that, we will, do I have mover?
I have a question.
A question, yes?
It's the same numbers in and out, so that's fine. I have that. I just had that question in regards to the use of the traffic impact statement that all traffic was coming in off the Carnarvon Highway into Nyala.
Yeah.
So is there any difference that now cattle may not be coming only solely from that direction, or?
So they haven't given a revised traffic impact assessment from the original application. So I guess they're maintaining that position that that's the traffic movements that are associated with the activity.
And we have no other way to sort of.
Given they're keeping the numbers the same, no, it's not sort of easy for us to go back and say, re-clarify your traffic movements.
Anybody else got any questions? Anybody looking to move? Councillor?
Well, just a question. Yeah, I do have a question, sorry. And it might be, more a Deputy CEO question just with the traffic. Like, I'm just noting, when we look at this big, this is a bigger agricultural industry, is there any, I think we were talking about this the other day as well, but like what happens with some road users agreements or, that impact on roads? It might not be about this one, but just thinking about that moving forward, is this something that we should be looking at about the impacts it has on our roads when it gets to a certain number or?
Through the chair, probably the comment I would make is what Kate's saying is the application is being assessed on, but on what the applicant has submitted. So if there's no reference to these external use of the roads, there's obviously that's an indication that the applicant's not planning to use them roads for their operation. But absolutely, if they're indicated they want to use council roads, there's mechanisms that we can put in place for that. But in this instance, the team are assessing it based on what's been submitted with the traffic impact assessment. If there is stuff around using other roads that weren't referred to on the application, well, that becomes a bit of a matter that needs to be looked at in its own right there. So, and that. So.
Okay.
But more broadly, there's definitely opportunities, but it's probably the onus is definitely on the applicant to make sure they're communicating to council what they're planning to do and how they're planning to run their proposed development there. So, and that. So.
No, thank you.
Councillor Flynn?
I'm prepared to move. One, that council issue a change decision notice in relation to the existing development approval, reference 2020-20217, for a material change of use, intensive animal industry up to a maximum of 32,500 SCU, located at the Roma Taroom Road, Murran, 584 Nyala Road, Mugga, 2527 Roma Taroom Road, Murran, 450 Nyala Road, Euthella, described as Lot 10 on WV 406, Lot 25 on WB L08, 1108, Lot 30 on WV 572, Lot 5 on WV 406, Lot 8 on WB 1578, and Lot 7 on SP 206 903, reflecting the changes detailed below.
seconded by councillor Hancock. Would you like to speak, councillor?
This application has been before the planning area for some time now. I don't believe there's any change of the numbers of the feedlot industry involved in this. It's just a change of the titles as far as the application goes. So prepared to support it.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? We'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
Yes.
9-0. 453.
Our paper's gone.
I'm getting it. I've just got to find it. 14.3, that's what I'm looking for? Yep.
Yeah.
Development application, material change of use, dwelling house, domestic outbuilding and boundary relaxation, 2 Norman Court, Roma, reference 2025/21518. Do I have a mover? Do I have any questions?
I've got a question.
Yep. Go ahead, councillor.
Through the Mayor, Kate, we've obviously previously approved a relaxation to the boundaries for the shed, have we?
No, you wouldn't have.
But isn't it the same? It's the same width?
Yeah, so under the Queensland Development Code, you can build within the 1.5 metre side boundary setback if the dimension of the shed is less than 9 metres. So the existing shed is
Gotcha.
8 metres on that boundary, so they didn't need a relaxation for the original shed.
Right, I've gotcha. Thank you.
Councillor Flynn?
I'll move. One, that the application for a material change of use, dwelling house, domestic outbuilding and boundary relaxation on land situated at 2 Norman Court, properly described as Lot 23 on SP 171538, be approved subject to the listed conditions and general advice.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor Brumpton. Would you like to speak, councillor?
I don't think so.
I've just got another question.
Yep. When you're ready, councillor.
Sorry, Councillor Flynn. Can I just, and I may have missed it, but through the Mayor, Kate, there has been contact with the neighbour. Has there, in relation to this?
Through the chair, Councillor O'Neill, I don't believe there's been contact with the neighbour regarding it. So it came to the planning department's attention as the shed was already built and they went through a private certifier, and our building team was notified after the fact through the relevant forms, and then it got passed to our team from there.
I just wonder, again, Mayor, maybe to Rob, whether we need a consistent approach here when it's a third party that has been dealing with this, because I've personally been in a situation where the neighbour has wanted to build a shed closer to the boundary than what would normally be allowed, and council instructed them to seek views of the neighbour as part of their application to council, and which I did. Now that's a former property, not a current property. But I just wondered, do we need some kind of policy or standard where we are seeking the views of the neighbours?
And we certainly do when the application comes to council and we're the actual building certifier prior to it being built. That's generally what we do. But as probably Logan pointed out, in this instance, it's actually already built. It was approved by a private certifier. It was picked up by the planning team. So going forward, absolutely, you make it part of the application process. I guess, in terms of this one and trying to achieve an outcome, if it's already built. That conversation, I guess, where that would sort of, what benefit out of that one.
Councillor Hancock. Oh, sorry.
Just see if that, did that answer your question, Councillor O'Neill? Because I'm going to change the subject.
No, it does, yeah.
Can I, before you change the subject, can I just ask something there?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, just with the existing shed is the same distance off the boundary as the extension anyway, so that really shouldn't come into it. I wouldn't think, would it?
Yeah, I think, as Kate said before, though, with the building one, you can go within that 1.5 metres of the boundary, providing the length of the shed's no greater than 9 metres in length. So initially, when it was built, it was 8 metres in length, so it didn't require a setback.
Yep.
Because as soon as they did the extension, it takes it beyond the 9 metres, which is what the trigger is. So.
Yeah, thank you.
So I can understand why the builder didn't pick up on it, because it was an existing shed and he was running the extension for the carport. So I can understand that, but yeah, but it's once it's get over that 9 metre, it does trigger it then.
It's just in regard to the neighbour, their shed doesn't look much shorter anyway. It's probably a metre shorter than the one beside it. So.
See that? Yeah. You're right.
Councillor Burkett asked the same question I was going to ask.
I've just got a
Councillor
question,
Bass.
sorry, I just can't find it. Is it standalone or added to the existing shed?
It's attached to the
Attached.
Makes a length.
If this was something that council was certifying ourselves, would we go to the neighbours and request them now that we're adding to the area of the shed that's attached to the boundary fence very closely?
The planning application is code accessible, so there's no mandatory process for notification to the neighbours, no.
Sorry, Kate, what did you say?
The application's code accessible, so there's no sort of public notification process.
Oh, there's none.
No.
Okay. There you go. All right. Where was we up to? Councillor Flynn, you moved it. Did you want to speak?
Did we get a second?
Yeah, I seconded it, I think.
Yeah.
No, I don't particularly want to speak. I think there's been a fair deal of discussion about it.
Anyone like to speak? Let's go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
Yes.
9-0. 14.4, development application, material change of use, transport depot, 102 Houston Road, Wallumbilla, reference 2025/21278. Councillor Seawright.
I move that the development application for material change of use, transport depot located 102 Houston Road, Wallumbilla, described as Lot 50 on WAL 53326, be approved subject to the listed conditions and general advice listed below.
Have a seconder?
Second.
Councillor Davis. Would you like to speak, councillor?
Yes, thanks. Just obviously like to thank the applicant for the extreme amount of work they had to go through to do this. Previously, they actually wanted to purchase industrial land in Wallumbilla itself to do their activities closer to the highway and transport. Unfortunately, there was no land available, even though they approached several different places. So in respect, they managed to purchase this property, and through the right applications and traffic studies and etc., they've come up with this outcome. So I thank them for actually bringing their business and trying to improve our area in Wallumbilla. So.
Thank you, councillor. Anyone else like to speak? We'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
Yes.
9-0. $14.5, development application, material change of use, undefined use, micro distillery, 120 to 122 Alice Street, Mitchell, reference 2025/21452. Do I have a mover?
I'm happy to move.
When you're ready, councillor.
I'd like to move that the development application for the material change of use, undefined use micro distillery located at 122 Ella Street, Mitchell, properly described as Lot 1 on RP 93769, be approved subject to the listed conditions and general advice.
A seconder, councillor Hancock. Would you like to speak, councillor?
Yeah, just to say that I wish this gentleman all the best. It's always exciting that someone wants to start a business up in a small town, a small community. So hopefully it's a success for the community and also for this gentleman. So yeah, wish him all the best.
Anyone else like to speak? Let's go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
Yes.
9-0. Can't be many more of yours, can it?
Just one.
You just sit there.
Good old sheds.
14.6, oversized domestic sheds. Do I have a mover? Councillor Flynn.
I'm prepared to move that council resolves that future development applications for domestic sheds which exceed the maximum building floor area and height specified in the acceptable outcomes of the applicable codes of the Maranoa planning scheme be referred to the elected council for decision where any one of the following applies. A, gross floor area exceeding 150 metres square or resulting in more than 50% total site cover in the general residential zone. B, gross floor area exceeding 220 metres square, allotment less than 10 hectares in the rural residential zone. C, gross floor area exceeding 300 metres squared on allotments equal to or greater than 10 hectares in the rural residential zone. D, gross floor area exceeding 250 metres square on allotment less than 10 hectares in the rural zone. E, building height exceeding 5 metres in the general residential zone. F, building height exceeding 5 metres on allotments less than 10 hectares in the rural residential zone. G, building height exceeding 5 metres on allotments less than 10 hectares in the rural zone. 2, in exceptional circumstances where the assessing officer considers it in the best interest of council having regard to the development assessment timeframes, applications meeting the above criteria may be decided by officer delegation with prior notification being provided to the elected council. And 3, where an application for a domestic shed that exceeds the maximum building floor area and height specified in the acceptable outcomes, the applicable codes of the Maranoa planning scheme is proposed to be refused by the assessing officer, the application be referred to the elected council for decision.
A seconder. Councillor Seawright, would you like to speak, councillor?
We have had a significant briefing on this particular matter, noting that there in recent times have been a number of oversized sheds that have come through council for approval, and this should go a further way to be able to improve the length of the approval process in future developments.
Thank you. And councillor Seawright.
Yes, and just to reiterate Councillor Flynn's what he spoke about, and also thank the staff for bringing this to us and the changes. And just to note that anything impact accessible will still be coming to council for us to approve or not approve. So, but I do thank the staff for the work they've done across this and to help, just as Councillor Flynn said, reduce some of these lead times that applicants have been seeing.
Mm-hmm. Anyone? Councillor Hancock.
Yeah, thanks, Madam Mayor. I'm supporting this as well because I think that this is a great step forward in reducing some of the red tape. This council is trying to look at ways where we can reduce the red tape, but still keep within our guidelines and our policies, respecting that, and speeding up some of our processes for our planning applications. As a councillor, I have been getting the feedback that it seems to take a bit of a long time to get some items through, acknowledging that sometimes that's not all our issue, that it is sometimes that there's not enough information in the application. I think this will be is a great step forward in trying to speed up the application process and approval times.
Anyone else like to speak?
Yes, please.
When you're ready.
Yeah, I'd just like to congratulate the staff also. I think this has made a more streamlined approach, and it'll make everyone's life a lot easier, and it still gives that opportunity for council to approve or disapprove any oversized sheds or whatever that comes to the table. So, yeah, thanks very much to the staff to putting this through.
Yeah, especially our briefing. Like it made more sense after you get to hear all that, so thank you very much. Anyone else like to speak? Councillor Flynn, would you like to sum up?
I think it's all been said, but I suppose in my planning portfolio, one of the things that we've noted is the fact that there is a consistent complaint about the lead times of approvals, not only in the oversized shed area, but in general from our planning area. Hopefully this will go some step along the way to be able to reduce those approval times.
Thank you. On that note, we'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
Yes.
9-0. Thank you, ladies.
Excuse me, Mayor. I'll just have to duck out for a while.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Noting Councillor Burkett is not online at the minute. 14.7, application through Regional Arts Development Fund, RADF Program 2024-2025. Councillor Brompton?
I'd like to declare a conflict of interest on item 14.7, applications through Regional Arts Development Fund, RADF Program 2024-25. The declaring councillor is myself. The person with interest is myself. Particulars: although I'm not a committee member of the Bymount Creative Circle, I do participate in many activities conducted by the group, and I'll be an attendee of one of the proposed workshops in this funding application. Note that I declared this conflict to the RADF committee and did not participate in their assessment of this application. It's a prescribed conflict of interest, and I'll leave the room while the matter is discussed and voted on.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Brompton has left the room. Do I have a mover? Councillor Hancock.
I move that council endorse the RADF committee's grant assessment recommendation in supporting the Bymount Creative Circle for $12,000.
I have a seconder. Councillor Vincent. Would you like to speak, Councillor?
Yes, I do. I just want to acknowledge that this is a fantastic opportunity for our region to have these internationally acclaimed mosaic artists come to our region, to be even successful that that the Bymount Creative Circle group were successful in getting them to come here is amazing, and I want to congratulate that group in their foresight, their planning, their proactive thinking. It fits perfectly within our RADF guidelines. Our committee did talk a lot about, like, it is a lot of funding, but we actually do think that it is a worthwhile workshop, and those skills that are going to be left in our region is going to be amazing. But it is also, from a tourism point of view and an economic development point of view, it goes bigger than our region. And so, yeah, it is a great workshop.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? No. On that note, we'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
7-0. Thank you. We're going on to the late.
Excuse me, Kim, would you mind letting Councillor Brompton know she can come back in? And...
Yeah.
Oh. That was through the CEO.
That's the second week we've got today from you. Councillor Brompton is back in the room, and we're going on to late number 1, L1, Wallumbilla Cemetery Project. Councillor Seawright?
I wish to declare a conflict of interest on item L1. The description is Wallumbilla Cemetery Project. The declaring councillor is myself, Councillor Brendan Seawright. Persons of interest is myself. The particulars of interest is I am the president of the Wallumbilla Town Improvement Group who is tabling this project to council. It is prescribed conflict of interest, and I will leave the room while the matter is discussed and voted on.
Thank you. Councillor Seawright has left the room. Do I have a mover? Councillor Hancock.
I'm going to change it a little bit, Cal. I move that council work with the volunteers of the Wallumbilla Town Improvement Group who look after the Wallumbilla Cemetery to develop a plan for the project and assist them with a community grant application or an in-kind assistance request.
Should it be council that assists or should it be the LDO? Should you say?
We never normally do because council means council.
Oh,
It doesn't mean
okay.
councillors, it means
Yeah.
council assist.
Council, yep. Have a seconder? Councillor Vincent, would you like to speak, councillor?
Thanks, Madam Mayor. Councillors, I met with the volunteers out at the cemetery and they talked about the progress. They talked about what they've done at the cemetery, which is amazing. It is our cemetery, but the volunteers do a lot of work out there and looking after that. And some of those projects that they've already done is great. And they just brought it to my attention about the fact that it's really challenging in between the graves that are so close together, and they could see the foresight that a project like this of putting some sort of an aggregate between them, whilst it might cost some money now, will actually save money in the long term. I think that this is a great opportunity for a community grant application, and so just putting it to council that we assist them for that application.
Anybody else like to speak? And you are right, council, there's a lot of our smaller cemeteries that volunteers do a lot of work, so the more we can support them, the better off we are anyway, so. And they just take pride in their town, and cemeteries is one of those plots, so. With that, we'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
7-0.
Council, just for the other cemeteries across the region there too, we are doing that master plan, so that's something we could probably actually take on board for the other cemeteries across the region as well.
Yeah,
Thanks, councillor. Councillor Seawright is back in the room. Would someone like to move us into closed? Councillor Hancock.
I move. Do we need have any conflicts before we go into close, Madam
Do
Mayor?
we have a, we do. We did, I do.
Oh, Councillor Burkett's dropped off.
Oh,
at
it's
the
Councillor
moment, so
Burkett, yeah.
We'll have to just be careful.
That's the only one I had, yep. Righto, we'll deal with that when he comes back.
I move that in accordance with the provisions of section 254J3 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, that council resolve to close the meeting to the public at 9:56 a.m. to discuss confidential items that its councillors consider is necessary to close the meeting. In accordance with section 254J5 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, the following table provides the matters to be discussed and an overview of what is to be discussed while the meeting is closed. C1, tender 24005, supply and delivery of one water truck. C2, application for permit to occupy Lot A on Crown Plan AP 14271. C3, application for permit to occupy Lot 1 on Crown Plan PER 5417. C4, request from assessment 13003330 for extension to council's regional water supply zone boundary. LC1, sewer alignment Lot 3 SP 257155.
Have a seconder? Councillor Davis, all those in favour?
Yes.
What have I got? 8-0, yes. All right, we're in close. Okay, C1, tender 24005, supply and delivery of one water truck. Do I have a mover? Councillor Hancock.
I move that Council 1 decline to accept any tenders pursuant to section 2288 of the Local Government Regulation 2012. 2, authorise the Chief Executive Officer or Delegate to enter into negotiations with STG Global and form a purchase order for the supply and delivery of one new 2024 Isuzu FVZ 240-300 6x4 water truck for $277,153.55 ex GST, as council has met the requirements of section 228 of the Local Government Regulation 2012 through tender 24005. 3, approve a budget transfer of $47,153.55 from work order 14754 quarry operations to work order 24555 quarry water truck to fund the purchase.
Seconder, councillor Seawright. Would like to speak, councillor?
No, thanks.
Anyone like to speak? Councillor Seawright.
Just to thank the work that's been done in the background by Gav and the quarry and Seamus, I think, or to get this to where it is. They've been crying out for a new water truck for a while, so it's not literally, but the requirement has been there, and it far exceeds them to actually purchase one themselves and hire one internally, so to speak. That this will be great and benefit for the quarry.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? Let's go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
8-0. C2, application for permit to occupy Lot A on Crown Land AP 14271. Councillor Vincent.
I move that Council 1 offer no objection to the issue of a permit to occupy over land described as Lot A on Crown Plan AP 14271 for the purpose of grazing. 2, as trustee of the road reserve, authorise the use of the land be dealt with under the Land Act 1994 by the Department of Natural Resources and Mines, Manufacturing and Regional and Rural Development. 3, authorise the Chief Executive Officer or Delegate to sign Part C, statement in relation to an application under the Land Act 1994 over state land in respect to this application.
Have a seconder? Councillor Davis, would you like to speak, councillor?
No, thank you.
Anyone like to speak? Let's go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
8-0. C3, application for permit to occupy Lot 1 on Crown Plan PER 5417. Do I have a mover? Councillor Brumpton.
I move that Council 1 offer no objection to the issue of a permit to occupy over land described as Lot 1 on Crown Plan PER 5417, subject to the following conditions. A, any damage to Council's road network resulting from any failed or ruptured pipe must be repaired by the registered permittee. B, immediate testing of existing pipe is required as it appears to be compromised. C, the registered permittee is solely responsible for removing the pump in the event of flooding. 2, as trustee of the road reserve, authorise the use of the land be dealt with under the Land Act 1994 by the Department of Natural Resources and Mines, Manufacturing and Regional and Rural Development. 3, authorise the Chief Executive Officer or Delegate to sign Part C, statement in relation to an application under the Land Act 1994 over state land in respect to this application.
Have a seconder? Councillor Davis, would you like to speak, councillor?
No.
Anyone like to speak? Let's go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
8-0. C4, request for assessment 13003330 for extension to council's regional water supply zone boundary. Do I have a mover? Councillor Vincent.
I move that Council 1 decline the request to extend the regional water supply zone. 2, inform the applicants of this decision.
Have a seconder, Councillor Brumpton. Like to speak, councillor?
We've looked at this one very closely, looked at all the pros and cons to extending this zone, and we just feel at this time that it's not the right, it's not appropriate to do it right now. So.
Anyone else like to speak? Councillor Hancock.
Yeah, I just want to back up what Councillor Vincent said, that we did really look at this, and we as a council do want to encourage growth in our region, but we do have to be very careful when we're considering this and the timing of it. But we thank the applicants for coming forward and writing to us, because it also gives us information to know where we might be expanding and where future water infrastructure might need to go to help the expansion of our town.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, councillor. Councillor Brumpton.
I'd also like to, part of my decision making around this is it is a rural lot, and at this stage it's not part of the town area, and there's an impact on, long-term maintenance, on pressure, on various things. So unless council has some other resources out there with the continued growth, it's not something that I could support at this stage. Although recognising development for the town is great, it is actually a rural block, not a town block.
Anyone else like to speak? Councillor Seawright.
Again, it was very tough for us to, come through with this. And I think it's more just in support for our, our water experts, our officers that presented this, that, their recommendation is that not at this point, our infrastructure might not support this kind of impact, so to speak, and create other issues. So until we can actually upgrade some of our water network in that area, it is for me a bit of support. Definitely supporting what our water officers say. They're the experts, and we have to, at times follow their direction because it could create issues for us.
And as Councillor Vincent said, it's just not a good time right now. Like, it's just, but we're aware of it, so we can work towards it. So, All right. Councillor Vincent, like to sum up?
No, I think everyone's got it covered with that we did look at it closely and we did take the advice of the staff because they deal with the pressure issues and that from that end of town, and it's great to see them come forward, and we know that growth is occurring around the community, and we look forward to seeing more of that and supporting that.
Thank you. All right, on that note, we'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
8-0. We're up to LC1, Sewer Alignment Lot 3, SP 257155. Do I have a mover? Councillor Brompton.
I move that Council 1 install a new sewer main to run northbound within the boundary of 31 to 33 Lovell Street, Roma, to collect all existing services from the old barracks and terminate the existing domestic drain or drains that cross Lot 3 on SP 257155. 2, approve the reallocation of $25,000 from the approved 25-26 Capital Works program budget for sewer main relining projects, work order 25989, to fund the proposed works.
Seconder. Councillor Davis, would you like to speak, Councillor?
Yes, thanks, Mayor. We've received a lot of information from officers about this. These applicants have purchased a subdivided land. Our maps were incorrect. They weren't aware that, or nor were we at the time, that where the sewerage line went on their block, it has impacted their ability to build. We are aware now from talking with the officers that there actually could be further drains across the block, so we're going to move it straight down the block of where the drains are coming from to try and ensure there's no further issues either when they are building as well. And they had done all their due diligence, so this is why I believe it's appropriate that council support this.
Anyone else like to speak? We'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
8-0. If there's no other business, I will close the meeting.
I've just got one.
Yes.
Just a motion without notice. Title being May Street, Wallumbilla. And the resolution would be that Council 1 undertake a naming review of May Street, Wallumbilla, particularly the section west of Wallumbilla Road South that joins Blue Hills Road, and 2, a report with options be presented at an upcoming council meeting.
Questions?
Do I actually have to ask for a vote for that, just the motion without notice first?
Yeah, I move that this be added to the agenda.
I have a seconder. Councillor Flynn, all those in favour?
Yes.
8-0.
And then, Mayor, I'm happy to move that Council 1 undertake a naming review of May Street, Wallumbilla, particularly the section west of Wallumbilla Road, south that joins Blue Hills Road, and 2, a report with options be presented at an upcoming council meeting.
Have a seconder?
I've got questions.
Councillor Hancock has a question first.
Councillor Neil, just can you remind me, we went through a process with naming that, didn't we? And I'm just wondering, is it, and how would you like the review undertaken?
Council to review the circumstances that is now a disjointed road, which is May Street, which is causing significant angst to residents who's having trouble with their health, and the ambulance doesn't know where to go.
Yeah, I thought that was the case. Happy to second that, Mayor.
Seconded by Councillor Hancock. Would you like to speak to it, Councillor O'Neill?
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. Really just what I said. Residents' concerns around how due to the closure of the bridge has exacerbated this, but that particular part of May Street, people don't know where it is, particularly emergency services, and it does. May Street does turn into Blues Hills Road, which is getting a lot of use at the moment because of the works being undertaken on the highway. But I think it's timely for council to have a really good look at this and come up with a solution to rectify this issue once and for all.
Councillor Hancock.
Councillor O'Neill, so when you say undertaking a naming review, are you thinking internally or both internally and externally?
I don't know what you mean by doing a naming review externally.
Well, last time we went out to the community, like when we name a road, didn't we go out to community for this at some stage?
I don't recall. I'd be comfortable for the staff, of course, to reach out to the residents that would be directly affected that live on this particular part of May Street. I think that would be a proper course of action.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Councillor Vincent.
So just on the May Street, it's only one end of it. Does it need to be the other end as well? Because one might want to keep May Street over the other end. Is that
Yeah, that's why I've specified particularly the section west of Wallumbilla Road, south that joins Blues Hills Road.
Okay.
I mean, they don't align. The May Street West and May Street East, if you like, they don't connect.
Yeah, I get that, Cameron. Yeah, Councillor O'Neill. Yeah.
They never really connected anyway back in the day, because you still have
No, I know, I get that. Yeah.
I was thinking one end might be more attached to their end, to their name.
And just, I'm just like obviously newer to the council. We've never really named a street in my time. Wouldn't go out to community consultation at any point, like, for new streets in Roma, or we just, what's the Councillor Flynn? Or
I'm not totally sure what the current policy is, but we had a policy at one stage where, and I don't know what Wallumbilla area would be the same, but we had a policy where we tried to take some names off the return services list in the what's the name of the building? What's the building? The Wall of Fame, the plaque for returned soldiers. We did have a policy about that at one stage, but I think also there's probably, if there's a particular person who's been involved in that area, that we would look at that with the community, in line with the community.
Can I suppose, can I just jump in? In point 2, a report with options. Sorry, I don't mean that to be naming options. I just mean options for council to consider and how to address the issue. One of them could be to keep it the same. One of them might be to change the name. One of them might be to go to, broad scale community consultation. So the options wasn't naming options.
Oh, right.
One of the options could be that, they update the ambulance,
Yeah.
like, isn't that the
It could be,
whole
yeah.
thing, for me? I've just got Deputy CEO on the table.
Yeah, no, through the Mayor, it's probably just that last statement's probably just summed up what I was going to say. If this was to be passed today, what the officers would do is bring a report back and look at more of the higher level options, not get right down into the detail of specific names, say at this stage, because one of the options simply might be to leave it as it is and improve some navigation or signage to it, but that'll ultimately be at the discretion of the subsequent report. But council may then resolve to implement community consultation and that. So yeah, what we would do is simply just look at it as it stands at the moment and just bring some options to council, more high level options, not right down into minutiae of what naming we would get to at this stage and that. So.
Okay. Mayor, can I just update point 2? I'll just a report with the suite of options for council to consider to address the issue.
Yep. Happy with that, Councillor Hancock?
Yes.
Yep. All right. Did you want to say anything else, Councillor O'Neill?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Is everybody good? We'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
8-0. All right, on that note, if there's nothing further, thank you all, and we'll close the meeting at 10:26.